did you attend school? College?
So I went to ITT,
Okay.
which used to be on the north side of Indianapolis. A private school. It was ITT Tech. So basically, they had engineering, electronic engineering, CAD and things like that back in the late 90s.
What made you want to go there instead of like a traditional college?
I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Really, this recruiter came into our school when I was a senior and said, they offer these things, and I'm in a small town. I had no clue what I wanted to do. My dad thought I was going to be either a factory worker or a farmer. Those are the couple options, and growing up out in a small little town, and I had this recruiter come in. And I'm like, for $100 down payment, I can go take this test to get into a college, and we didn't really talk about school a lot, or college growing up, because we were small town farmers growing up. And so I came home and I told my mom that I wanted to, go, take this test to see if I could enroll, and I did, and got in. And I really didn't like engineering. I hated math. I was horrible at it. And so I chose the electronic engineering program, and EET. And then I went on and got another degree in robotics and pneumatics and hydraulics called AMT.
Okay.
And so, and then the government shut the college down, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago.
That's why I haven't heard of ITT Tech recently.
Yeah. I don't know why
they
did, but probably for a lot of different reasons. Lots of colleges should be shut down right now.
Well, yeah, that goes into the whole conversation of we need to revamp our education system.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's failing.
So do you feel like that, I guess I wouldn't call that a vocational college, right? But it is a more, work with your hands kind of college.
It was engineering. Basically an engineering school at the time. They even had a nursing program.
Oh, really?
But,
okay.
Yeah, they had heating and air, robotics, pneumatics, EET, electrical. So, kind of an engineering. So, really, a lot of kids would graduate there and go to Chrysler, Delphi, and Delco Ramey at the time, GM, Allison's. And, they could either go into the electronic side or the robotics side, which, machine learning, machines at the time.
Yeah.
Robotics was huge. It still is. It's just different. It's an AI.
Right.
But so guys went in automotive, most of them, and I hated that. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to sit at a bench and learn and try to learn how these robots work all day,
right,
and make them work. I wanted to go sell them. I wanted to go on the street and talk to people, not work behind a bench. And so I graduated. I don't know. I just really didn't enjoy it. Okay, I took 18 years old. You're told to go to college and pick a career that you're going to do the rest of your life. Well, that doesn't make sense to me either, unless you just know from a young age that you want to be a doctor or an attorney. But so I graduated and didn't ever go into engineering one day, and I couldn't probably pass a test at all today.
So you don't feel like? Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth. Do you feel like that school did that add anything to where you're at now?
Well, it got me the job in healthcare, so definitely job placement. Their job placement was great, and that door opened up.
Right.
If I didn't stay in healthcare, I would have landed a job. They were everywhere at the time. I mean, there were so many jobs in engineering at the time and robotics that I would not have had an issue, but I would have hated my life.
Yeah, wouldn't have enjoyed it.
No, it'd been horrible. It had been a horrible job for me. It's great for somebody else, and there's a lot of people who love engineering and robotics, but it wasn't me. I wish I would have went, for business or, marketing or entrepreneurship, which, I think I could have learned a lot then, but I learned it on my own.
Yeah.
It's just taken me a little bit longer.
Well, and I went to a vocational college and then didn't end up even finishing college, or like real college when I went. And that, it's all part of your path, right? Like those places I went definitely got me to where I am, or part of what got me to where I am. Does anything that I learned there apply to what I do now? Not really. but it's a part of your journey.
Yeah.
So yeah. So where did you grow up? Because I know you said small town.
Yeah. So I grew up in Lynn, Indiana, just east of Pendleton a little bit.
Lynn, Indiana. Okay.
Right on Highway 27 and 36.
Okay.
There's not much there in Lynn. I mean, it's a small town, known for making caskets, and I think Jim Jones came through there.
Known for making caskets.
Yeah, there's a casket company there.
Which casket company?
Astral. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know there's Batesville caskets or something.
Yeah, Batesville's down the way by Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's more Shelbyville area.
Mm-hmm. And so we sit in between Richmond and Winchester.
Okay.
Richmond's the big school, big town.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, I'm proud of my roots. I was really excited to get out of the small town, but I'm still proud of my roots and where I came from, of course.
What was your childhood like there?
Man. It was a lot of riding dirt bikes and four wheelers, and had a snowmobile in the winter. We worked a lot. I started working when I was 14 years old.
Really? What was your first job?
Well, my first job was always baling hay for a local farmer, and then I ended up picking up rocks and doing some other things for other farmers, really just kind of any farmer who wanted an extra hand I'd work for. But I ended up working for Dwayne Sickles, who really taught me a lot about business. And he probably didn't even know that. But Dwayne and Marcia were my buddies' mom and dad, and they owned an awesome sheep farm, beautiful sheep farm.
That's cool.
They did hay. But he started a Christmas tree farm. He started one year, he just wanted to plant little sapling trees. And they grew. And then he would sell them. And I'm like, wow, that is pretty awesome. But they really weren't of age to be sold when I was still around. But I would trim those trees up. I'd go out into the fields, and I'd trim these trees up as they would get older. And then we'd plant more trees in some of his open fields. And he really grew it into an awesome business. I think he just...
That's cool.
His last year was his last year. But I watched Dwayne and Marcia do a lot of really cool things that always interest me in business.
Yeah.
And then one year, she's like, Nate, you're making so much money, we got to start taking taxes out now. And I'm like, what? Taxes? And so that's when I was really kind of taught about taxes and how taxes have to come out of my paycheck. And then I always watched them hustling and moving and shaking and doing some really cool things as a husband and a wife and entrepreneurs and farmers. And that was where I really learned how to work hard, was for the Sickles family, Dwayne and Marcia and some other farmers.